Hey friends, it's Coach T, and I'm so excited that you're back here for the Coach T Show. Today, we've got a really, really special guest. His name is Evan Carmichael. He's an entrepreneur. He created and sold a biotech company. He played around in venture capital, and he is a motivational speaker. He's even got his own YouTube channel with 3 million subscribers. So I can't wait to dive into talking to Evan. Let's check it out. Well, friends, we've got Evan Carmichael here. How exciting. Evan, welcome. So happy to have you.
Coach T, we're doing it. I'm excited.
Yay. Well, we all know, a little bit about your diverse history and entrepreneurship and motivational speaking. Talked to everybody about that a second ago, but I would love to sort of get your intro. So tell us a little bit about you and then let's go on the journey.
Wow. I don't know. I don't like introducing myself. I'm Evan Carmichael. I'm an introvert, shy entrepreneur trying to change the world. Took me a long time to get here. A lot of insecurities and obstacles and not feeling comfortable in front of the camera and not feeling like my message is good enough, and just kept going. And now I'm here. Now I'm here talking to Coach T and have some books and YouTube and speaking and just want to serve.
That's awesome. Awesome. So our community, as you know, is comprised of thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs who want to make a big difference in the world and they want to create impact. And what I love about you is that you talk about impact, and everything that I've encountered is in terms of your work has started with impact and service first and has then gone, to other places. And so a lot of our audience, they want to serve. And one of the questions they have is, I'm trying to serve, but I'm not able to make sales. So what does that mean? And I think there's no better person to ask than you. So give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So if we're making content, the best way to do it is to think about showing what you want to make money doing. So by example, if you're a coach, Coach T's a coach, let's go. If you want to make money as a coach, the best content you can make is showing you coaching people. So for all the coaches out here, you could be making videos of you sharing your 3 tips to XYZ, but a better video would be to you coach somebody through the 3 tips to do XYZ. So whatever you want to make money doing, show me the process of you doing it. So content is the new marketing. Like content is how you market your business. Content gives everyone a shot. You don't have to have a multi-million-dollar advertising budget to go against a Super Bowl or whatever. Like everybody can win. YouTube gives you that platform. I think YouTube is the number 1 place people should be. There's other platforms you can be on as well, but YouTube matters because the content you make today in 3 months and 6 months, in a year and 2 years and 5 years is still getting you views and still getting you attention. It's still driving leads for your business, where whatever you posted on Instagram, a week later, nobody cares about it anymore. Doesn't mean you can't use those platforms, but YouTube, I think, is the number 1 place for thought leaders, experts, coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs need to be. If you can teach, what's in your head, the knowledge, and what's in your soul to serve, and doing it in a way that is not just serving one person. Like, how do I serve, but I'm not making money? Well, you're not just serving one person, you're serving one person where everybody can watch you serving that one person. And some people then say, how do I work with you? What's the next step? How do I hire Coach T? How do I dive deeper into your world? And so whatever you want to make money doing, show me the process of you doing it. So if you want to make money as a coach, your show should be having people come on and you coach them. And you do that, you can do it 5 days a week. And it's easy to do if you know what you're doing as a coach. There's no prep work for the video. You just show up and say, hey, how can I help you? And hopefully they ask you questions that are something that you know about. Like if I'm on here talking about marketing and entrepreneurship and business, you're not asking me about plants or cats or something that I am not super knowledgeable about. And then inside that, number 2, we want to be making content that's going to lead to sales as opposed to just making content for growing your channel. So a lot of people at the beginning, the problem is they're making content that is way too broad, way too general, and not specific enough to the people that you help. So if you made a video, and not Coach T, but you, the viewer watching, if you made a video on, and you call it like how to find your purpose, great. You might be an expert at that. That might be core to you, but if you make a video like that, it's way too broad. I call that Titan content. So look at who you'd be going up against. You're going up against Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and Mel Robbins and Grant Cardone, like all the big channels, right? And they have a bigger brand than you. They're better at making content than you are, at least right now, because they've been doing it for a bunch of years. And so you have almost no shot of standing out for that video. And it's also not going to drive a lot of clients for you. So think about, who do you like helping the most? And I call this twin content. So Titan content is Oprah and Gary Vee and like the people who are leading the way. Twin content are people who are like you. So instead of trying to be the Titan, be the twin. So whatever you struggled with, whatever you had to overcome, this is ultimately who we like coaching and helping the most. We want to help people who currently are who we used to be, right? Like, your purpose comes from your pain. We want to help the people who currently are who you used to be. So what is specific in your story that you want to share with people that will help you help them, but also grow your business? So earlier today, I was going through this exercise with a woman named Ida, and she's in Canada, like me. She's an immigrant to Canada from Africa. She lives in Montreal now, and she wants to help newcomers in Canada with their finances, so that their finances aren't a mess. So she made a video about purpose, and it tanked. And then she made a video talking about how, an immigrant father can fix his financial mess in Canada. And she coaches people on this, and she has training programs around this where you can either buy her $67 course or go higher up with them. So if she's making a video about how an immigrant father in Canada can fix his financial mess, that video is never going to have 1 million views, right? Like, there's not a million people who care enough about being an immigrant father in Canada and has financial mess, right? But if she gets, like, who's going to click on that video? The right people. I'm not clicking on that video. You're not clicking on that video, but who's clicking on that video? Well, fathers in Canada who are in debt and need to figure out a way out, like her ideal clientele. Mm-hmm. And so the goal would be, now that video ended up doing better than her purpose video. So that's just a bonus. But if you had 1,000 views on purpose video and 100 views on that video, we want the 100 people, because those can lead to sales for us. Right. And so it doesn't mean that you don't at some point become the Titan. You don't become, like, great, go become Oprah, go be Gary Vee at some point. Awesome. Most people quit along the journey, though, to getting there because they don't make enough money in their business. So heart first, serve first, mission first. Yes. But money has to be important. It can't be number one. Your purpose is number one, but making money has to be in your top 5. Otherwise, you'll never be able to fulfill your purpose, and you've just bought yourself a fun thing to do in the evenings and weekends.
I love it. You are preaching my language. I love that. So that's super important. Now, you brought up something else that I definitely want to get onto. This is YouTube. And I know that you do very well on YouTube, over 3 million subscribers. Excellent. Good stuff. And so a lot of people are going to say, well, YouTube, I think that's a long-term game. And, it's going to take a long time for me to build up subscribers. And I just heard what you said about having, a niche and trying to focus on getting the attention of the people who buy. But how do I get it to have traction? How do I get started when I'm on all of these other platforms? What would you say to them?
So I would look at YouTube as above all the other platforms. And obviously love YouTube because I'm on YouTube, but I'm on everywhere else too. If you go find me, I'm probably on whatever platform you're on as well. YouTube just works better. Will also pay you, by the way. Like, you can make money from YouTube, where Instagram's not paying you to make content, but YouTube will pay you every month to make content. And a lot of people, my friends now, are like, they're not speaking anymore because they're making 7 figures from YouTube. Like, just ads on top of being able to sell your courses and coaching and everything else. But the beautiful part about YouTube is it's long form content that then you can take clips of and put everywhere else. So if you're going to do a coaching session with somebody and you're going to spend half an hour with them, helping them with their whatever issues that you're an expert. If Ida's going to do it for this guy who's a new immigrant to Canada who needs to get out of his financial mess, that's a 35-minute video or something. There's lots of highlight moments in there that she can pull for Twitter, for Instagram, for TikTok, for all the other platforms. So you're taking the best moments from long form and you take your best one-liners and those become Instagram quotes. You're taking the best 30-second clips and those become IG reels. This is basically Gary Vee's model. He just has long form content and then he chops it up for all the other platforms. So it allows you to be everywhere with only being really making content in one spot, which is YouTube. Does it take longer? Yes. What helps? Be more specific, right? So people are going to YouTube to learn. Like if I want to learn, so think about everybody watching. You're an expert at something. Think about what you're an expert at. You've been through things. You want to help people. You have knowledge that you wish you could share with the person that you used to be 5 years ago. Like you've grown and you've learned a lot. You can help that person. You're an expert now. You're still growing and learning, but you know a lot right now. You can help that person. If you were to make content specifically on that, where are people going to learn this stuff? Like if I go back to Ida's example, if I'm a new immigrant to Canada, I'm a father and I want to get out of debt, where am I going to a library to learn this? Am I going to a textbook? Like where am I going to go to learn this stuff? For whatever you're an expert at, where are people going to learn this stuff? They're probably not learning it from their parents or their friends or their circle or their library. They're going to YouTube to learn, how do I X? And your video could be the one that shows up. And it takes longer, especially for the bigger videos to pop. Like if you were to make a purpose video, now we're playing a brand game long term. You want to be the next Oprah Winfrey. Awesome. I love it. But if you want to start getting clients and making it super specific, so that people are typing those in and then they find you and that video continues to live forever, as long as the content, I'd encourage people to make evergreen content. So imagine that in 5 years, somebody's watching your video. You're not just sharing some 2022 strategy. That's something that will live for a long time, because that's the biggest advantage that you have with making YouTube content.
Absolutely. Well, that's some good insight. Hopefully things are percolating for those that are listening. And, you also touched on something that I don't think gets touched on enough. You described how people want to be, the Titan, they want to be the Oprah or the Gary Vee. And so often people stop on their way to becoming that person because they're not able to make money or the going gets tough. What would you say are some of those key motivating factors to get people to stay as pumped up as they are day one throughout their business? What would you say there?
Number one, join some kind of community. Because chances are, if you're following Coach T, if you're watching this video, you're part of this community, you're probably the most ambitious person that you know. You're probably the most optimistic person that you know. You are probably the one pouring into the people in your life, telling them that they can do things and they can do better. And you're cheering them on. Like for most people watching, you are that person for the people in your life. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. But who's doing that for you? And it's usually nobody. And so it doesn't mean stop pouring into others, but it means add in, you need to be around people who are pouring into you as well. So joining some kind of community, whether that's a friend of yours who brings you up, who lifts you up, who's on the same path. Most people though don't have somebody in their immediate friend circle who's doing anything close. So you say, I'm going to go be a coach and build my business. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's usually best case. Worst case is you're going to be a what? Did you go to school for this? What makes you think that you could ever help anybody with what they're going through? What gives you the right, Yeah. And so that's really hard to keep going when everything around you is either negative at worst or just okay at best. When you feel down, what do? You have nobody to turn to. So we stop. And this is the path for a lot of entrepreneurs. It's not just people making YouTube content, just entrepreneurship. You start and you stop, and you start and you stop, and you start and you stop. So whatever community you can join, ideally is with humans. Like I do a group, for example, called Movement Makers. That's what Ida was a part of. And every 2 weeks we meet and we share, and everybody in there's a thought leader, and we're trying to help each other out and grow and build and connect. But you can even get it virtually. You're watching this and you love Coach T, go watch her other episodes. Go back and watch everything else that she's done and the other guests that she's had on and her own thoughts and opinions, because that Coach T makes you feel like things are a little more possible. So you start your day with Coach T. and other people like her who bring you up and make you feel like things are possible. For the most part, we don't have anybody like that in our lives. And I think that's, I wish I had more, like, this is me talking to younger Evan too. I'm introverted, I'm shy. I don't have a lot of friends. I struggled a lot at the early stages because I was trying to do everything myself. I felt like that was what you're supposed to do. And hard days come, especially at the early start. And if you don't have somebody or a group of people helping you, the chances of winning are dramatically reduced.
Absolutely. So let's mosey on over to our favorite M word. Well, maybe our second favorite M word, marketing. So you've got this YouTube, people have got their YouTube, they're putting up this evergreen content. And now they're like, how the heck do I draw my niche to this place? Maybe they want to do paid ads, maybe they don't. What are you finding are some of the best ways to market this content that you're putting all these places?
So paid ads can definitely work, but it's super easy to lose a bunch of money and never see a result. So paid ads are gasoline on a fire. Like you have a fire and you're going to throw gasoline and you're going to make like a bonfire, right? But gasoline on a dry stick is just gasoline on a dry stick. And so a lot of times where people make a mistake is they're spending money without having a business model that they know works. So this now comes down to, well, how much money do you have to burn? If you're willing to go spend $10,000 in ads to test something and you're okay with that going away because you want it, awesome, cool. I mean, most people that I meet don't have like and I still just go back to young Evan, like every dollar matters so much that I can't afford to spend money on something that's not going to work. And I don't want to spend money on something that in 5 years is going to work for me. And so if you're in that mindset right now, then paid ads is not the place to go. You want to figure out a model that is working for you and then put paid ads on top. This is like step 2, right? I'm getting the thumbs up from Coach T. If you have a budget and you don't care and like 10,000 is learning, perfect. I mean, go for it, do it. So now when we're making content, we have 2 paths. We have a marketing path and we have a sales path. The marketing path we touched on. So the marketing path is we're making YouTube content. We are making it very specific. And again, the biggest thing that people are mostly missing is the content itself is not specific enough. It's too broad. It's the how to find purpose stuff. And you're never going to rank for that. Not never. That's a 5-year plan. You don't have 5 years to wait. You're probably going to drop off at some point along the way. So specific content like IDA. The sales path would be, I call this the fast path to freedom. It's the fastest way to actually start building your business. If you're a coach, expert, influencer, et cetera. Most people don't want to do it because it's more outreach. So the marketing path is we're creating content and we're a magnet and we're bringing people towards us because they're searching for things. The sales path is more outreach. And the fast path to freedom approach is you pick a platform. YouTube isn't great for this because you can't do outreach very well on YouTube. But you could do it on Instagram, you could do it on Twitter, you could do it on Discord. Those would probably be my top 3 for 2022, Instagram, Discord, Twitter. And you create your bio, you create a picture. Let's just look at Instagram, for example. You create a picture, you have a great bio, you have your link to whatever page you want to show up, and then you have a little bit of content. And most platforms, this is how it works. Like you go to Twitter, you have a picture, you have a bio, you have a link, and you have some content, right? What I encourage people to do is imagine that your ideal client is landing on your page. So your ideal client's going to land on your Instagram. What do you need to show them? We'll worry about how to get them here in a second. But like if they are landing here, what do we need to show them to make them want to take the next step with us? So a professional picture that's going to speak to them. Like if you're coaching on parenting, maybe you want to have a picture with your kid in there. If you're coaching on fitness, maybe a picture with your shirt off because you look amazing, or sports bra or whatever to show off your physique, right? So like, what do they want to see? If you're a business coach, seeing you in your tank top may not be like the thing that's going to bring people in, right? Or not having zero profile picture, or it's a cartoon, or it's a picture from you from 4 years ago when you were doing something else, right? Yeah. So professional picture speaks to your target audience. A bio that's going to attract, if somebody sees it, they're going to want to learn more with you. And then a link that's going to lead them somewhere. And then content. And I encourage people to make what I call the 10 pack of content. So the amazing 10 pack of content is just 10 pieces of content that if your ideal client saw it, they'd want to work with you. And I go into depth like what those are, but just think about 10 pieces of content that you would make that shows your story, speaks to why you do what you do, shows some of your results, shows your transformation of where you came from and who you are now. And if you've done it for other people, showing some of that as well. And then no more content. We've done our 10 content, we've done our profile picture, our bio, and our link that if our ideal client found this, they would want us to take the next step with us. Next, what we're going to do is do outreach. So we're spending our time not making content, not filming videos, not doing graphic design, and we're doing outreach. And we're trying to find the people who are talking about the thing that we know how to help them with. And so on Instagram and Twitter, you can go through hashtags. Like, what hashtag would my ideal client be complaining about? Right? And whatever they're complaining about, people share incredible things about their life. I think like, I wouldn't share this kind of stuff, but people are sharing this stuff. They're like an open book for whatever reason on social media. You could reach out to them. So it's like finding them on Discord, to be through related groups or servers. And then Instagram and Twitter is based on hashtags. See what people are posting, and anybody who looks like an ideal client, you message them. You say, hey, I'm Evan. Here's what I help people through. Like if somebody was struggling with marketing or YouTube or entrepreneurship, and they're complaining, and say, hey, I'm Evan. I look at what you're doing. I've got a few ideas for you that I think might help. Happy to hop on a free call to talk about it. If they see that, what are they going to do? They're going to go to my profile, right? They're going to go to my Instagram. What are they going to see? A great picture, a great bio, some links, 10 pieces of content that then leads to a call, that then leads to ideally working together. And so you're reaching out to 50 to 100 people a day on platform to spark up some interest. Most people don't want to do that because they don't like the rejection. They don't like the sales model. They don't like, but if that's you and you don't mind it, that's the fastest way to start growing your business. The marketing path is what we talked about through YouTube. So, you can do both. You can do either or. You can tap into what, feels the most right for you. But fast passive freedom is sales, is outreach, is messaging 50 to 100 people a day, still giving value, still offering to hop on a free call to help them. In marketing is YouTube, making content specific to the niche that you want to target, and people search and they find you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what are your thoughts about, you've not mentioned one of the platforms here that's, I know, interesting to this audience, and I saw you on it, TikTok. So you're there. What are you thinking?
I like TikTok. I'm active on TikTok. I think converting TikTok is still a challenge. I think TikTok is trying to find a place. I mean, it already definitely has a place, but for education and thought leadership, it's still finding its footing. It still leans more towards the inspiration side, like Instagram. Audience is definitely moving there, especially younger audience. So thinking about your market, who are the people who are going to hire you and work with you and buy your stuff. If it's younger audience, TikTok is definitely the place to be. The challenge with TikTok is you can't really message properly. Like the DMs, you have to be following each other. So it's harder to do outreach. So if you're doing like the outreach strategy with Instagram, you can do that. With TikTok, you can't yet. Maybe they'll update and change it. So I wouldn't do a TikTok first strategy unless it really just fit with your demo. And the way to do that would be to have your short form videos that lead to a lead magnet. And something else we haven't talked about, but we can quickly touch on, is when people are finding you and they land on your profile, give them something for free. So whether it's from TikTok or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, if anybody's still using that,
yes,
give them something for free. Like Facebook, actually paid is fantastic. Facebook organic is not great, but paid, if you're doing paid strategies, Facebook is still great. Give them something for free. So the concept of dating before you get married. A lot of people will jump for somebody to watch your video, see you coaching somebody, and then hire you as a coach. Some people will do it, but it's a big step. Versus if you gave away something for free, now you get their email in exchange. So you're going to give them a PDF of the 8 ways to XYZ to unlock whatever problem they're having to help them solve that problem. Mm-hmm. They give you their email, you give them the PDF. You then can use that email to build a relationship with them. and then sell them into coaching. And again, not just like sell them sleazy salesmen. It's like it's helping them. You're helping them get to the next step with whatever struggle they're facing. So whatever platform you're on, lead to a free lead magnet so you can collect their email, but then you can sell whatever programs you have.
And are you finding that any particular type of lead magnet is better? I mean, I know PDFs used to be the way, there's audio, video downloads. Anything you really like right now?
The most important thing is the relevancy to the topic. So PDFs are the easiest to make usually. And I don't think PDF it has to be like a 800 page ebook or something. Like it could be 3 pages, like a PDF with it still has to be valuable. Like imagine somebody gets it and it's just 3 words on a page. Okay, that's not going to be like, oh my God, I love this, I'm going to go hire this person. But it's a taste and it gives them something valuable to work with. PDF is usually the easiest to make. A second option is a video. Like you walk them through a video of how to do X, Y, Z. But more important than the format, if it's video or PDF or audio, is how relevant is it to the thing you're talking about? So if we're talking about YouTube strategies and I then had a PDF on my 8 tips for how to win on YouTube in 2022, and we have that as a gift for your audience. I don't have that, but if we did, people would say, oh, how do I get that PDF?
Right.
Because it's highly targeted versus if it was how to find your purpose in life. Some people might want to do it, but our topic hasn't covered purpose. It's not what we're going in. So
right.
I wouldn't get as much people signing up for it. So exactly. More important is to have it be specifically targeted to the topic. And then I wouldn't worry so much about the formatting, whether it's audio, PDF, etc.
Well, awesome. This is amazing. I love all of your feedback and perspective. Really great. So tell us, for those people who are like, I need more of Evan, how do they find you? How do they connect?
I'm Evan Carmichael, pretty much wherever you are, wherever you want to hang out, come say hi on YouTube or TikTok or Discord or Twitter or Instagram. I'm there.
Awesome. And do you have anything coming up that you want to share with us?
Lots. I'm doing a challenge. I don't know when this video is going to come live, but I'm doing a challenge that starts next week. Built to Serve challenge, guiding people through free 1 hour training with me every day for the next 7 days, starting Monday, Monday, whatever this coming Monday is. But otherwise, I'm doing content all the time. Coach T is doing content all the time. The best thing you can do, honestly, is whatever, like if you found this valuable, then tell Coach T about it. Like leave a comment on this video, go subscribe to her channel, go back and watch some of the other content that she's put up, because it takes a lot of work to create this. And every comment really helps and means something. So go give Coach T some love.
Oh, awesome. And Evan, well, we appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for the love.
Thank you.
So my friends, if that didn't motivate you, I don't know what will. What an excellent conversation we just had with Evan Carmichael, and really, really excited for you to be able to start putting the things that he talked about into practice to start seeing results in your life. So if you want any information to connect with Evan, if you want more information about what we've got going on, we've got a new business course that's available. The first 100 people get in for free. Check all of that out in the show notes, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.